Good early afternoon to everybody. Thank you so much for joining our second class of Diversity University. It's a tongue twister even for me. We really appreciate your time today. We have Colter with Americo. He is going to go over some really cool products that they have available for you on the life side of things, including a decreasing term, which could be used as a mortgage protection, their instant decision universal life plans, and their Eagle series, which is that final expense. And if you're selling Medicare, that's probably going to be where the bulk of your clients fit in. But the point of these diversity universities is to pick up some new products and be able to use them across multiple different lines of business. And I would almost guarantee that you're going to find some ways to place Americo products fairly quickly. So I'm going to turn everything over to Colter. He is going to go through those products and answer any questions you may have. So you're able to come off of mute and ask those questions out loud, or you can chat them in and I'll field those over to Colter. So Colter, I will hand it off to you, sir.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having us. We are very excited. Again, thank you for letting us jump on this call with you. So like everybody said, my name is Colter Hetherington. I'm an assistant account executive here at Americo. So any questions or anything that you guys might have, feel free to always reach out to myself or our agent services team. I know that team is absolutely amazing at what they do and can get you the quickest responses on anything that you might have. They have a complete training team, and they also have their new business team, licensing, contracting, anything that you could think of. They're there to help, and so are we up here as the account executives and the assistant account executives. So with that introduction said, I am going to go ahead and jump in to our training. So our agenda for today is we're going to do our product overviews over the Eagle series, our IUL, and our payment protector, which is our decreasing term. And then I'm also going to go over some things within our agent portal to help you guys navigate that as well, such as your commission statements, where to go to quote and illustrate, ordering forms and materials, and then also seeing that pending business as well. And then I'm going to leave this on the screen for just a second, and I'll also have it at the end, but this is our agent services contact information. So we have our 800 number, which is 800-231-0801. Or we also have our email address. That email, we do guarantee a same day response if it is submitted before 3:30 Central Standard Time. And that is agent.services@americo.com. And then I'll also have this up at the end for you guys in case you miss it now. So jumping right into our Eagle Select, we have some very key features that I want to point out. This product is going to have 3 different benefit levels. So Select 1 is going to be your lowest premium. That's going to be your healthiest client, minimum to no issues medically or within your prescription backgrounds, anything along those lines. Then we have Select 2, which is similar to our former Eagle Premier premiums. That one is going to be for some of those cases that may have medical conditions, may have some medications that we're not too sure of as like you're writing the policy. You're going to see some of those go more of a Select 2. And then we also have our Select 3, which does have that 2-year graded benefit. And then the premiums will lower or are lower than our current guaranteed issue was. And so we are seeing a premium difference here, which is great because it's fielding those premiums directly to where the client's health is. And that's one thing that we've absolutely heard nothing but great things about. And so we, of course, always love the feedback on that as well. Your clients will also have oh, yes.
Real quick, on our screens, we're still on the very first slide.
Oh,
for some reason.
See here. Okay, did that fix it?
Yes, now we can see what you're talking about. There you go.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So, like I was just saying, we have those 3 different select benefits, and then on top of that, you can also add additional accidental death option. And then, of course, like all of our products, we have the streamlined underwriting. So you're going to have every decision there on the application. You're going to know whether the product goes Eagle Select 1, 2, or 3. All of those things will be done just directly on the application for you, which is amazing. There's no having to call into the company, accept a mod offer, or anything like that. It's all going to be right there on the application. Make sure this jumps to the next slide for you. So with that, it's all going to be simplified issue, like I was just saying. So select 1, your death benefit is going to be anywhere from 5,000 to 40,000, like our entire select series. But this one is going to range from ages 40 to 85. Smokers age up to 85 as well. So whereas previously we had cut that smoker off at 80, we have now extended that to 85. And then you also have your select 2, same age ranges, except for our smokers are going to be cut off at 75 with the select 2, but we still have that same instant decision, 5,000 to 40,000. And then select 3, which is that 2-year graded death benefit. That one goes anywhere from ages 40 to 75, face amount anywhere from 5,000 to 25,000. And so you can see here that with the 1 to 2 years, the sum of the premiums is going to be paid back plus interest if they pass away within that graded period. And then year 3 moving forward, it's 100% of that face amount as well. With that Eagle Select as well, like I said, everything is going to be your simplified issue instant decision. And I will show you guys where to go a little bit more in depth on this product as well when I'm going through the portal, just in case you have any questions, or again, our agent services department on if you have like specific questions within the individual products or the individual like select 1, 2, and 3 as well. So rolling kind of over into our next product overview, we're going to have our instant decision IUL. Again, I'm going to keep reiterating this because it's my favorite part about our products, but it is all instant decision right there on the application. And I know that that is something that I've heard nothing but amazing things about, is that it's the easeability. We want everything to be completely done there, right there for your client. You guys know exactly what's going on. Your policy documents are being sent out right then and there, whether they're going via email. The client will have them within about 30 minutes to an hour following the policy approval. Or you also have the option to send a physical paper copy, and that is getting mailed out same day. So it's absolutely the best streamlined process that we could come up with for that. So the idea behind our IUL is it's going to be permanent protection, grows cash value. It has income and living benefits, which is the critical, chronic, and terminal illness built into the product. And then again, it's 100% instant decision. So when you're running through all that, you know, you've got all these great features, and then for it to be instant decision as well, your client knows right then and there. There's no medical tests that need to be done, no going and getting your blood drawn or saliva done. All of it's just done right then and there for you. So for this particular product, it ranges anywhere from ages 18 to 75 with a minimum face amount of 50,000 that jumps all the way up to 450,000 non-medical. And that's where ours actually caps at as well. And then it does have loans and withdrawals available from the cash value. And then your living benefit riders are also included at no additional charge. And so this one, again, it is life insurance, with it being a simplified issue instant decision. And so those clients that are looking to pay like $500 or less a month, this is going to be the bread and butter for them, because it's still taking advantage of all of the IUL aspects without, you know, just absolutely dumping money into it as well. So you're still getting that life insurance, but you're still kind of getting that growth in your cash value as well. And then again, those living benefits, we have the chronic, critical, and terminal illness built into these. And so your critical illness is going to be something, of course, that's within the last 12 months that is kind of a little bit more lightweight in a certain sense. So things that the client's going to recover in a shorter amount of time per se, just depending on what the diagnosis. And of course, when the client goes in to utilize these benefits, they will help guide the client into which category that we need to include these in. But there are some examples on the screen of just, again, some very broad examples of what might be covered within these. So for example, your critical illness, we have heart attack, stroke, or kidney failure, things like that, ASL, or I'm sorry, ALS. And then we also have that was under critical. Chronic, we have an illness that qualifying event occurs within the last 12 months, and a physician has certified that a continuous 90-day period of the insured is unable to perform 2 daily living activities. And so that could be as simple as walking around, getting to work, driving, different things like that. Those daily living activities are what's going to qualify for the chronic. And then we also, of course, have terminal illness as well. All right. And then our payment protector series. So that is the one that you guys had originally reached out about, really wanting to know some more. So we're going to really heavily hit this one as well. So our payment protector is going to be our decreasing term product. And so with that, this product, the best way to describe it is like a mortgage protection. So a decreasing term, you take it out at the face amount. I'm going to, again, heavily reference mortgages here because it's the simplest way to compare it in this aspect. So we've got a $300,000 mortgage. We're going to take the policy out for $300,000. And over the lifespan of this term product, it is going to decrease annually. Just like if you're paying your monthly mortgage, that overall loan amount is going to decrease as well. So the way that this one works is upon death, the beneficiary has the option to go in and say, I would like to take the payments monthly, or they can take a lump sum. And so what that monthly payment would do, and it is calculated at the time the policy is, it was approved, and you can always go in and run an illustration on this as well, but you will see that that number there. So the beneficiary will already have these tools, as long as they have the policy paperwork for them, to make that informed decision. So let's say 15 years into a 30-year term on a $300,000. We're just going to use rough numbers. We're going to cut that in half. So we're looking at about $150,000 remaining on the term in the cash, or I'm sorry, not in the cash value, but in the death benefit. And so the client or the beneficiary can go in and say, hey, I think it's going to be smarter for me to take those monthly payments to help cover the mortgage or to help cover utilities, different things like that. And so they can take an example $500 a month, and we're going to pay them out that $500 a month for the next 15 years and until the term period ends. Or they can take that $150,000 at the time of death. But the beneficiary does get that option on what they would like to do with that. And so this, again, is just kind of going over. So it's an affordable option that helps cover either the mortgage or any types of bills after the time of death that the client or the beneficiary is wanting to utilize those funds for. It's, of course, flexible in which way that they can choose those items. And then it can replace that income during those working years, just depending on how that beneficiary would like to utilize those. And so with that said, this one runs from ages 30 all the way up to age 70 for the premium options, with a max face amount of 450,000. It is simplified issue. Again, no medical exams, no saliva, anything along those lines. It's going to be exactly like our IUL. You go in, you fill out the application, it tells you right then and there. And then they have the lump sum or the monthly payments as well. So one thing I really want to hammer home as well is our training video channel. So, and again, this is an amazing resource, and I'm more than willing to help jump in with any of these as well. But we have all of these products on a much more in-depth level, going through the product specs, any of the additional writers that could be included on every product on our training video channel. that is linked on the agent portal. I can also get you guys over a direct link as well. And then I'll show you where to find it in that agent portal. But this is, even when I started at the company, I watched our training video channels just to get to know the products on a much more in-depth level. And then as I was learning things moving forward, it just made doing these Zoom calls or teaching other people how to sell our products, or just even teaching other associates how the products work. This training video channel, trust me, I preach by it, just because it goes so in depth, and we update them all the time, whether that be with a slight product change, or like when we redid our final expense to the Eagle Select, we did a complete overhaul of those training videos. And so those are always up to date for you. Not only do they go over our products, but we also have some on our websites, how to run illustrations, or how to do our applications as well. And so there's anything and everything that you could possibly think of is on that training video channel. So let me go ahead and jump into our agent portal here a bit, and I will show you around and guide you through some of those things that you might want to utilize moving into your agent portal as an agent. So on the agent portal, this is the main screen that you'll see when you first log in. So you up at the top, you have 4 what I like to call the speedometers. That is how you measure your persistency with your policies. So on the far left of your screen, you'll see where it says credits. That is going to be moving how much you have submitted worth of business. And then you have your first premium applied ratio just to the right of it. And then our 6-month persistency and 12-month persistency. So that premium applied ratio is going to show you how many policies you're applying for versus what is getting approved. And so you can kind of just or base that off of how well you're doing on those applications. And then your 6-month persistency and 12-month persistency is just showing you how long those policies are staying on the books following that initial approval for, again, that 6-month and 12-month time frame. Moving a little bit farther down the screen, on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see where your commission statements are going to generate, and then your work list. So your work list is going to show any and all policies that might have a pending requirement, whether that be that we need to verify an ID for some reason, or the policy delivery receipt that is needed in some states. That's all going to list under that work list. And you can always click on the policy number, and it will go ahead and jump in and tell you exactly what that requirement is for you. And then just below that, we have our, there's 3 different categories here. There's our news section. So we try to announce anything and everything that is changing with the company or within better practices, anything along those lines. It will be under that news section on the left. And then we have events in the center. Our events are going to be anything from new agent training or specific product training, or notifying you if like our home offices will be closed, or anything along those lines will be under the events. And then just to the right of that is the Helpful Americo documents. That is where that training video is located. It will always be the last item on that list at the very bottom, and it'll have the hyperlink just straight to that training video channel. So again, right there on the home page, super simple and easy to find. And I love that link. And then below that, we have our agent tools, which is where you would go in and write the applications or do your illustrations. And that is there on the left. And then to the right is going to be Insurance Drip, which is a marketing tool that you guys are free to use as well at no cost. So diving into the agent portal, past that home screen is we have what I like to call the hamburger menu at the top right. That is going to be the 3 little lines, and it will pop out with this little menu here. And so on that menu, we have our policies, commissions, sales results, and agent info. All of this is very, very useful. Policies is going to go into what your pending business may be, any of those pending requirements or anything like that. So it's just another way to access that. Or if you're needing to reference back to a policy, you'll see every policy that you've written or every application that you've written, whether it was approved or declined, you'll see all of that under that policy section. And then we also have our commissions for you to see your commissions. And then sales results is a much further drill down of those persistencies on those speedometers. And then agent info. And that's where you can go in and update your email address or anything along those lines on your personal information. So if we were to click on that commissions tab, you can go in. Once you click on that commissions tab, it's going to show you this overview, and it's got by month. And this bar graph is going to show you by month your production. And then you also have your schedule and rates below that as well. Or you can click on statements and it will take you into your individual statements. You can also search it by transaction. So if you're looking for a direct transaction on a specific policy, you'll be able to click transactions here up at the top right. And then you can go in and filter it by the policy number or anything like that and drill down to find that specific transaction. And then jumping over back to that homepage, like I said, we have our agent tools, e-application access right down here at the bottom under the quick links. So that is agent tools. We do have a demo site. I always suggest practicing if you haven't utilized our applications before, but just make sure at the top it doesn't read demo. If you're trying to write a live application, there's a big red bar. It's happened before, so I just like to kind of throw that in there. Just double check to make sure you're not on the demo site if you're wanting to write that live application. And then here's just a little bit of more information on our amendments. So if you ever do have an amendment, we have our number that you can call, which is this 855 number. That number is heavily utilized to update banking information or do those amendments over the phone, just so your client doesn't have to physically fill out a form and send it back. And it processes right then and there. So it's the quickest and easiest way to finish up that information. And then kind of jumping into that pending business, back on that menu tab, you click on policies and it immediately opens you into your work list. So on that work list, it's again going to show you anything that is pending outstanding requirements, or in this top one on the example here, it shows issued, not paid. And so that is just one that the policy is issued, but we're waiting for that first premium. So you can kind of keep an eye on that, make sure everything's going good there. So I'm going to really open it up to any questions that you guys may have. I do have the chat pulled up on the side, or if you guys just want to jump in and ask any questions, feel free to. But I'm going to leave this screen up for you just so you can grab that agent services information as well.
What is Americo's #1 selling life product?
I would say currently it is going to be our Eagle Select series. So we just launched that. Sorry, struggling for words. We launched that Eagle Select series back in November of this past year. We replaced a very, very good Eagle Premier product, and we were like, how can we make it better? And that's when we decided to do the 3 different options within Eagle Select. And it hit the ground running and has not stopped, which is amazing to see.
Nice. And that's probably your most liberal underwritten product as well, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Please remember again, guys, you can come off of mute. You can also chat in any questions, comments, anything while you have Colter's ear. You might as well ask him some questions. I really think that the Americo product line will help you ease into the life arena and either add it to your Medicare or ACA sales.
Okay, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
When it come down to the mortgage protection insurance, I noticed that it says simplified issue. I was trying to see if there any knockouts for that not being issued, that particular policy not being issued.
So we don't have any direct knockout questions. We look at a combination of multiple factors when doing the underwriting. So we're going to take the questions that are on the application and we're going to also compare them to like your MIB and your RX and make the decision based off of that as well.
Okay.
And so it is a multitude of things that go into that, but again, it's quick and simple, so you'll know by the end of the application. And as you start writing them, you'll kind of learn as you go of, oh, okay, so I've seen this before, or this combination, different things along those lines that you might pick up on moving forward.
Okay, and I got one more question.
Uh-huh.
When it comes down to the IUL, I noticed that you mentioned you can do loans or withdrawals.
Yes.
So with the loans, how does that work? Like, does that take away from your face amount, or do you get penalized, or how does it?
So it's not going to take away from your face amount. That's a great question. So we do loans against the cash value that is built. So you do have to have that cash value built up before you can take a loan, but
Mhm.
it's not going to risk your policy ending based off that loan, because I know that that has been a topic in the past of if you were to take out a loan for the full face amount of the policy, it not getting paid back, and now you don't have a policy. So this kind of avoids that situation to where the insured still has insurance.
Okay, and what about withdrawals?
So your withdrawals will be against your cash value as well. So there's obviously the payback factor versus the just straight withdrawal. And so that's going to be the huge thing there on that. And then the difference in what the minimum requirement for the cash value buildup for a loan versus withdrawal is all based off of, again, what cash value is built up and the overall policy value.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I see a question here. Can you talk a bit more about the mortgage protection? So what kind of questions are we directly looking at within that mortgage protection? And I'm going to look at the next one just so while you kind of help me out, clarify there.
I missed some of what you were saying because I came on late
Oh, okay.
about the mortgage protection in general and what the requirements are and what the, any underwriting you have to go through to get approved for that.
Yeah, so again, that one's going to be simplified issue. So it's going to take in your questions, just like I was explaining on the IUL. It's the exact same underwriting. So you're going to take the medical questions on the application, and then it's going to run the MIB and the RX, and it'll make the informed decision based off of that. But the payment protector, which is the one that we were speaking of today, that one runs from ages 20 to 75, or I'm sorry, 70. And then it's got a minimum face amount of 25,000 with a maximum face amount of 450,000 on that product. And then it decreases over the life of the policy since it is a decreasing term.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then, like I said, there is those training video channels, but I see that we have a question about printing off some flyers. So within your agent portal, you do have the ability to print off different materials, or we can actually send them to you free of charge. So you're not having to print them off yourself. And so let me see if I can jump back to a slide to kind of help jump into that. Okay, perfect. So this particular slide is going to show the best way. So under agent info, we have these different categories here. So you've got your final expense, general, mortgage, or it'll say term as well, and then annuity. So you'll click on each of those. For example, I'm going to use final expense. We would click on final expense and it will go in and show you the different final expense products. You can click on learn more, and then there's an entire product order form there that you can fill out and or grab different things from to either, again, print for yourself, or if it says add to cart, we will send it to you free of charge. All right. Any other questions for me?
Last chance, guys. We've got Colter on here, and a wealth of knowledge. So throw out those questions if you have them. One question that just came in, Colter, is how do we get login credentials?
Okay, perfect. So when you got your welcome email from Americo with your Americo agent ID, there should have been a link on the email itself to log into the agent portal. But if you don't possibly have that anymore, you can always just go to americo.com and select our agent portal site within that. And it will have have you registered for an account or one of those not already registered, click here. And so you'll just click on that and it will take you through the process to go ahead and get your account registered. And then if you're having any issues getting that process going and for some reason past that, our agent services department, the sales support team, can always help you get logged in.
Well, Colter, we really appreciate your time. This was a ton of great information. So we appreciate everything that you and the staff at Americo does for us and your partnership. Guys, if you have any questions after we wrap up this webinar, please don't hesitate to email them over to myself, Brandon, any member of the sales development staff here at National Contracting Center. We would definitely be happy to help you out. And if we need to get you in touch with Colter directly, we will do that as well. We really do appreciate your time. We hope that you found some product out of the 3 Colter talked about to add to your portfolio and help your clients with. Thank you guys. Have a great day.